Welcome to our channel History of Coins, where we explore the hidden gems of numismatics. In today's video, we're diving into the fascinating world of rare quarter-dollar coins, cause some of these coins hold an incredible history, and some are worth millions. So today, we are gonna uncover the rarest varieties and their values. So make sure to watch the complete video and find out if you have one of these. Now let's continue our today's video. Top 1 today, we're diving deep into one of the most iconic and historic coins ever minted in the United States. The Washington Bicentennial Quarter, proudly stamped with the dual date 1776 to 1976. It's not just a quarter. It's a celebration of 200 years of American freedom. At first glance, this coin looks like just another piece of spare change. But trust me, this is a coin that can surprise you. Because for those who know what to look for, rare errors, perfect condition, or specific versions, this quarter becomes a hidden gem. So if you're a collector, or even just someone with a coin jar at home, pay close attention. You could be holding a slice of history worth far more than you ever imagined. Let's rewind to the year 1976. America was celebrating its 200th birthday, and to mark the occasion, the U.S. Mint released special bicentennial designs for the quarter, half-dollar, and dollar coins. It was the first time since 1892 that circulating coins in the U.S. featured a design that wasn't just the standard issued on the obverse side. We still have George Washington's familiar profile, but there's a key difference. The date is shown as 1776 to 1976, honoring the 2-century milestone. Flip it over, and you'll see what sets this coin apart. The stunning reverse design featuring a colonial drummer boy, beating his drum as a flame of liberty burns in the background. Designed by Jack L. H.R., this powerful image captured the revolutionary spirit of the American people, and it's become one of the most beloved designs in U.S. coinage. But here's what most people don't realize. Not all bicentennial quarters are created equal. Some are ordinary, but others are extraordinarily rare and valuable. And it's all about condition, metal composition, and minting errors. Let's start with the basics. These quarters were struck at 3 mints: Philadelphia, no mint mark; Denver, D mint mark; and San Francisco, S mint mark. But the San Francisco Mint also produced special collector editions in both proof and silver-clad versions. That's right. Some of these quarters aren't just copper and nickel. They actually contain 40% silver. So, if your quarter has an S mint mark and a slightly different shine to it, you could be looking at a silver version, which already makes it more desirable to collectors. But where things really start to heat up is when we talk about errors. Some bicentennial quarters were struck with double dies, meaning parts of the design, like the lettering or the drumsticks, appear slightly doubled under. Magnification. These double die errors can be subtle, but when verified, they can skyrocket the value of the coin. Then there are off-center strikes, where the design is misaligned and part of the coin is blank or lopsided. These aren't just odd-looking. They're rare, and collectors absolutely love them. Another exciting variety involves struck on the wrong planchet errors. There are confirmed bicentennial quarters that were accidentally struck on dime planchets, making them smaller and lighter than normal quarters. Can you imagine finding a quarter that looks like a mistake and discovering it's worth thousands? And if you really want to dream big, there are proof errors, coins that were supposed to be pristine, mirror-like collector's items, but left the mint with flaws like misaligned dies, missing elements, or unusual finishes. These errors, especially on silver-proof coins, are extremely rare and incredibly valuable. Now let's talk about condition. A bicentennial quarter in average circulated condition might only be worth face value. But if you have one in mint state, especially graded MS-67 or higher by a professional grading service, it becomes something entirely different. These high-grade coins have no wear, sharp details, and full luster. Finding one in that condition is like finding a time capsule from 1976. Collectors will pay a premium for high-grade examples, especially if they also have unique errors or come from the silver-proof set. As time passes, these coins become harder to find in pristine condition, especially since most people just spent them as regular change for decades. So, how do you know if your bicentennial quarter might be rare or valuable? Start by checking the mint mark. Look for that S if you suspect a silver version. Inspect it closely under a magnifying glass. Do the letters look doubled? Is the design slightly off-center? Is the surface clean and free from scratches or wear? If any of that sounds like your coin, then you might be holding a piece of American history that's not only beautiful, but potentially extremely valuable. And now, the moment you've been waiting for. One very special 1776 to 1976 Washington Bicentennial quarter, featuring a combination of a rare mint error, stunning condition, and silver content, was once valued at a jaw-dropping $82,000. That's right, $82,000 for a coin that once bought a piece of gum or a cup of coffee. This is why collectors never stop hunting. Because with coins like the Bicentennial quarter, the next great discovery could be sitting right in your change jar, or maybe even in your hand right now. So take a second look at those quarters, folks. You never know what treasure might be waiting. Top 2, we're talking about the 2021 Washington quarter. Crossing the Delaware, a modern coin that carries a powerful message from America's revolutionary past and, in some rare cases, holds a value that can take your breath away. So grab your coin jars, take a good look at your collection, and listen closely, because this is a story you'll want to hear all the way to the end. Let's start with what makes this quarter special. In 2021, the U.S. Mint released a brand new design that marked the end of the long-running America the Beautiful Quarters program. After more than a decade of celebrating national parks and landmarks, the Mint decided to return to a bold, single-year design for the quarter, a tribute to one of the most iconic moments in American history. On the obverse side, we have the familiar portrait of George Washington, but with a twist. This isn't the more recent, stylized image used for the State and Park series. This is John Flanagan's original 1932 design, modified slightly, bringing back a classic look that collectors adore. It was a return to tradition, a nod to history, but it's the reverse side that really grabs your attention. Here, we see General George Washington himself, boldly standing aboard a boat, sword raised in command, as he leads his troops across the icy Delaware River. This heroic moment, captured on the coin, represents one of the most daring military moves of the Revolutionary War, the surprise attack on the Hessians in Trenton, New Jersey, on Christmas night. 1776. It's a coin that doesn't just spin, it speaks. It tells a story of leadership, courage, and the fight for freedom. But here's where things get even more exciting. Although millions of these coins were minted for circulation, not all of them are the same. And if you're lucky enough to have one of the rare ones, your quarter could be worth thousands or even more. What sets these rare quarters apart? Let's talk errors. Some 2021 crossing the Delaware quarters have been discovered with striking mistakes that make them incredibly valuable to collectors. One of the most talked about is the die clash error, where the coin shows faint outlines of the reverse design imprinted on the obverse, or vice versa, due to the dies colliding without a planchet in place. It creates a ghostly, unintended image that serious collectors go crazy for. Then there are off-center strikes, where the image on the coin is misaligned, often leaving part of the design missing or pushed toward one edge. These coins are incredibly rare, and when combined with a high mint state grade, they command significant premiums. Another fascinating error is the double die, especially noticeable in the lettering. If the words United States of America or E pluribus unum appear slightly doubled, especially on the reverse, then you might be holding a double die variety. These errors are small but mighty in the world of coin value. And don't forget about struck-through errors, where debris like grease or other foreign materials interfere with the die at the moment of the strike. These can cause missing elements or unusual textures, making the coin truly one of a kind. But beyond mint errors, condition matters more than ever. Coins that are straight from the mint and never touched by circulation, known as uncirculated or mint state coins, are the cream of the crop. Coins graded MS67 or higher by professionals like PCGS or NGC are not only visually flawless, but highly coveted. These coins have sharp details, full luster, and zero signs of wear. Even without errors, such a coin can be worth a small fortune due to its scarcity in such perfect condition. Some of the most valuable 2021 Washington quarters have been discovered in sealed mint bags, untouched by circulation. Others were found in coin rolls and bank boxes, just waiting for someone with a sharp eye and some patience to recognize their hidden value. Collectors across the country are now hunting for these 2021 quarters, not just because they're a modern release, but because they represent a rare intersection of history, beauty, and potential profit. The Crossing the Delaware quarter is more than just a coin. It's a bold artistic statement and a historical tribute rolled into one. And when a coin has both historical and collectible appeal, prices can skyrocket. Which brings us to the moment you've been waiting for. One exceptionally rare example of the 2021 Washington crossing the Delaware quarter. Featuring a dramatic minting error and graded in pristine condition, was recently valued at a mind-blowing $79,000. Yes, you heard that right. $79,000 for a single quarter that could have slipped through your fingers at a checkout line or sat unnoticed in a chained cup.so. Here's your call to action. Collectors and curious viewers, check your change. Go through those coin rolls, search those bank bags, and take a second look at every 2021 quarter you come across. You never know when you might be holding a piece of American history, worth more than some cars, homes, or college tuition. Top 3, we're uncovering the fascinating tale behind a coin that not only honors an American legend, but in rare cases, could be worth far more than its face value. This isn't just any coin. We're talking about the 2022 Maya Angelou quarter, a modern masterpiece with roots deep in poetry, empowerment, and American history. And let me tell you, some versions of this coin have sold for jaw-dropping amounts that will leave you speechless. Now, grab a chair, open your coin jars, and let's explore why this quarter might be the most powerful and valuable 25 cents you've ever seen. In 2022, the United States Mint kicked off an exciting new chapter in American coinage with the American Women Quarters program. This series celebrates extraordinary women who shaped the nation's history and culture. And leading this historic release was none other than Dr. Maya Angelou, poet, memoirist, performer, activist, and an unstoppable voice for truth and justice. This coin marked a milestone. Maya Angelou became the first African-American woman to appear on a U.S. quarter, making this not just a piece of currency, but a symbol of progress and recognition. On the obverse side, you'll see a modernized portrait of George Washington. This design was actually created by sculptor Laura Garden Fraser back in 1931, but only officially used in 2022, almost a century later. It's elegant, classical, and a perfect pairing with the strong women this series honors. Now turn the coin over, and you'll find something extraordinary. The reverse design features Maya Angelou with her arms uplifted in triumph. Behind her, a radiant sun and a soaring bird, imagery inspired by her most famous work, I Know Why the Caged Bird Sings. The artwork is striking, powerful, and filled with symbolism. It doesn't just reflect her legacy, it feels like it sings from the metal itself. But here's the part that gets collectors excited, because not all Maya Angelou quarters are equal. Millions of these coins were released into circulation. You may have even used one without realizing its significance. But certain versions, rare conditions, and minting errors have turned some of these coins into valuable collector's items. Let's talk mint marks. These quarters were struck at 3 locations: Philadelphia, P, Denver, D, and San Francisco, S. The San Francisco Mint produced special proof versions and silver-proof editions, which were never meant for circulation. These coins are struck with greater detail and shine, and if you find one still sealed or in flawless condition, it already carries a premium. But the real treasure comes when rare minting errors enter the mix. Imagine finding a double die error, where parts of the design, like Maya's arms, the sun rays, or the text, appear slightly doubled. These subtle mistakes are incredibly sought after by collectors, especially when professionally authenticated. Even more dramatic are off-center strikes, where the design is printed partially off the edge of the coin, creating a unique and highly collectible piece. Then there are struck-through errors, where foreign material interferes with the coin press, leading to blank spots, missing details, or bizarre textures. These coins are accidental one-of-a-kinds, and that's exactly what collectors love. And don't overlook the rarest finds of all: wrong planchet errors, where a coin is struck on a blank mint for a different denomination, like a dime or a foreign coin. These rare occurrences are extremely valuable and often come with a fascinating backstory. Now let's talk about condition. Like with all modern collectibles, mint state coins, those that are uncirculated and perfectly preserved, are the gold standard. If your Maya Angelou quarter is graded MS67 or higher, with full luster and flawless surfaces, then you're looking at a serious collectible. These coins have started to pop up in auctions and coin shows across the country, and prices are climbing, especially for those with documented errors or exceptionally high grades. Why the demand? Because this quarter isn't just beautifully designed, it represents a moment in time, the first of its kind. A coin that symbolizes voice, identity, and strength. Combine that with rarity, minting mistakes, and top-notch preservation, and you have a collector's dream. Now comes the moment you've been waiting for. One incredibly rare 2022 Maya Angelou quarter. featuring a dramatic mint error and preserved in near-perfect condition, was recently valued at an astonishing $77,000. Yes, you heard right, $77,000 for a coin that started as a humble tribute, but became a crown jewel in the world of modern numismatics. Don't overlook your change. Search those rolls. Check the pockets of that old coat. Because this isn't just a coin, it's a piece of history, a symbol of greatness, and if you're lucky, a small treasure that could be hiding in plain sight. Top 4, we're diving deep into the 2022 Wilma Mae Killer Quarter, a coin with a powerful message and, in some cases, an even more powerful price tag. Stick around, because what you're about to learn might just change the way you see your pocket change forever. In 2022, the U.S. Mint launched the American Women Quarters program, an inspiring series that honors women who shaped the very soul of America. Each coin in this series celebrates courage, achievement, and resilience, and standing tall among these icons is Wilma Mae Killer, the first female principal chief of the Cherokee Nation. Now, if you're thinking, that's a pretty big deal, you're absolutely right. Wilma wasn't just a leader, she was a force. She fought for indigenous rights, empowered Native communities, and redefined what leadership looked like in modern America. And now, her legacy lives on, not just in books or documentaries, but in your hands, in your coin jar, maybe even in your wallet right now. Let's take a moment to admire the design of this extraordinary quarter. On the obverse, you'll notice a graceful and powerful depiction of George Washington, an updated portrait designed by Laura Garden Fraser all the way back in 1931, now finally getting its rightful place on U.S. coinage. It's a respectful nod to the past while paving the way for the future. Flip it over, and the reverse design is where this coin truly comes to life. Here, Wilma Mae Killer is shown wrapped in a traditional shawl, standing with dignity in front of the seven-pointed star of the Cherokee Nation. The inscription reads Principal Chief in bold letters. This isn't just a design, it's a message. It's heritage. It's the strength of a woman who led with wisdom, compassion, and unwavering resolve. But as any experienced collector will tell you, not all quarters are created equal. While millions of these Wilma Mae Killer quarters were released into circulation, a small number have become highly valuable due to rare minting errors, limited editions, and pristine conditions. Let's talk errors, because this is where things get very interesting. Some of these quarters have shown up with double die errors, where the design elements like Liberty, In God We Trust, or the intricate details on Wilma's shawl appear slightly doubled. These errors might look subtle to the untrained eye, but to a collector, they're gold. Other rare examples include off-center strikes, where the coin wasn't perfectly aligned during minting. This creates a dramatic, almost incomplete look, making the coin a true one-of-a-kind. And then there's the Holy Grail, struck through errors, where debris or grease interferes with the minting process, leaving mysterious gaps or ghost-like impressions. These coins are not only rare but absolutely fascinating to look at. If you happen to find one of these error coins and it's in uncirculated or mint state condition, you may be holding something truly special. But even without errors, certain Wilma Mae Killer quarters can fetch high prices due to low mintage numbers from specific facilities, especially from the San Francisco Mint, which produces limited edition proof and silver-proof versions not released into general circulation. These coins are made with extra care, sharper details, and often kept in pristine packaging. And here's the most important part for any serious collector. Condition is everything. If your Wilma Mae Killer quarter is graded MS67, MS68, or even MS69, which means it's nearly flawless under magnification, you're in elite territory. Combine that with a rare error, and you're looking at a coin that belongs in a museum or a high-stakes collector's showcase. This coin is more than a tribute. It's a conversation. It represents a moment in history when the voices of Native American women were finally honored on a national stage. It reflects culture, leadership, and identity. It's a modern coin, yes, but it carries the weight of centuries of struggle, pride, and progress. And in some incredibly rare cases, it carries more than symbolic value. It carries financial weight too. Which brings us to the part you've all been waiting for. Point 1, Wilma Mae Killer quarter from 2022, featuring a rare and dramatic minting error and preserved in exceptional condition, has been valued at an astonishing $75,000. Yes, you heard that correctly. $75,000. For a quarter that might still be sitting unnoticed in your change drawer. Take another look at those coins. Get yourself a magnifying glass. You never know what treasures you might be holding. Because sometimes, the most powerful coins are the ones that tell the most powerful stories. Top 5 if I told you that a coin you probably passed over without a second glance, the humble 1998 Washington quarter, could actually be worth a small fortune. Yes, it's true. That small silver coin with George Washington's iconic profile could be hiding a secret that only a sharp-eyed collector or lucky individual might uncover. So sit tight, because this story is going to change the way you look at your loose change forever. Let's begin with a little time travel. The year was 1998. It was the final year of the classic Washington quarter design before the U.S. Mint launched the 50-state quarters program in 1999. That means this coin marked the end of an era. After decades of the same design, collectors didn't yet know that the classic eagle reverse was about to vanish, making the 1998 edition especially meaningful in the series. On the obverse side, you'll find the familiar face of George Washington, designed by John Flanagan. His stern yet dignified portrait had graced the quarter since 1932. On the reverse, the bold American eagle, wings spread wide, perched on a bundle of arrows with olive branches beneath, a timeless representation of peace and strength. But after 1998, that eagle would be retired, replaced by state-themed designs. Now, let's talk about why this coin, out of millions minted, could be worth far more than face value. You see, not every quarter is created equal. While the U.S. Mint strikes coins with remarkable precision, every now and then, something goes wrong, and that's where things get very, very interesting. Some 1998 Washington quarters have emerged with minting errors that collectors dream about. We're talking about double die obverse, where Washington's features or inscriptions like Liberty or In God We Trust appear doubled. These aren't design choices, they're rare mechanical mistakes that create extremely collectible coins. Others have been found with off-center strikes, where the coin wasn't perfectly aligned during minting. That misalignment leaves parts of the design partially missing, creating a dramatic and eye-catching error that commands serious value. And then there are the rarer anomalies, clipped planchets, where part of the metal blank was missing before the coin was even struck, and broad strikes, where the collar didn't properly contain the coin during the strike. These errors can make a coin completely unique, and uniqueness is exactly what collectors crave. Now here's where the story gets even better. 1998 was a transitional year. Not only was it the final year of the classic quarter design, but it was also a time of testing and adjustments at the Mint in preparation for the new State Quarters series. Because of this, some strange varieties and errors slipped through, especially at the Philadelphia and Denver Mints. A few examples from 1998 also show signs of proof-like finishes on business strike coins or unexpected planchet compositions, such as coins mistakenly struck on blanks mint for other denominations. These are so rare that when one is discovered, it often makes headlines in the numismatic world. And then, of course, there's the factor that separates the common coins from the crown jewels of any collection. Condition. If you find a 1998 quarter that hasn't seen circulation, no scratches, no smudges, no wear, you're looking at a mint state coin. But not just any mint state. If it grades as high as MS67 or MS68, it becomes highly desirable. Only a small number of these exist, and they're often locked away in professional collections or high-end auctions. Combine that pristine condition with one of the rare errors we just talked about. That's the perfect storm for a coin collector's dream. So, the next time you're counting your change at the coffee shop or digging through your old coin jar at home, don't overlook that 1998 quarter. Look closer. Check the date. Inspect the details. Because you just might be holding something far more valuable than you ever imagined. Now for the moment you've all been waiting for. A 1998 Washington quarter, featuring a rare and highly sought-after minting error, and preserved in pristine, uncirculated condition, has been valued by collectors and experts at a staggering $72,000. Yes, that's right. $72,000. From a coin that most people wouldn't look at twice. Amazing, isn't it? This is what makes the world of coin collecting so exciting. History, art, mystery, and value, all hidden in plain sight. If today's video got you excited about coins in your pocket or coins in your collection, make sure to hit that like button, subscribe to our channel, and ring that notification bell so you never miss a hidden gem. There are stories in your spare change. And we're here to uncover every last one. Thanks for watching, and until next time, keep your eyes sharp and your change close. Happy collecting!